Hello guys, welcome back to our update. In this video I want to cover Solana and the macro analysis of Solana, and then we're also going to cover Bitcoin because right now Bitcoin is sitting at a very critical level and I do think we're on the way to break the all-time highs. So let's start here with this major pitchfork that we have all the way from 2020 in December 2020 to the all-time highs to the recent lows here. As we've been talking, you that follow me, there's nothing new. We know that the top of Solana is going to be this median line. This is already set in. Algorithms are waiting to sell at this median line. This pattern plays out in all the bull markets. Usually algorithms always use median lines to exit. So I do think Solana has possibility to reach this median line. I do think it's a very high price target for Solana, this median line, to be honest, because we still need, this would mean that Solana needs at least to go, let's say we top in August, another 150%. In my opinion, that's already a lot. So let's see here, closer time frame, what we can look for Solana. We can add these other lines that I like to have on my pitchfork side, the 0.25, the 0.382, and then these ones as well, but these are lower, so they are not really valid. So we want to ask the 0.382 and then the 0.25. So these lines I like to add to the pitchfork. You can see here, I don't place trades based off these lines, but we can see here they usually act as support and resistance. We can see here now twice this has been as resistance for Solana. We can see here if we zoom in on the 4 hour that Solana actually came up to this line and it acted as resistance, and then we had a pullback. So we can also see here how they've acted as support. So these lines I like to use just for more guidance. They're not always 100% accurate. The only line that's real accurate is the median line. But we can see here how it has acted as resistance. Overall, I'm still bullish on Solana. We had this pullback here. As I was talking my yesterday's video, I was personally looking for low for pullback to the 0.31. We can see here we got a pullback. I entered here, we got a nice green trade, but then eventually Solana pulled back. So always a lesson to myself as well. So this, if you want using a higher low to enter on the 0.31, you have higher chance of getting filled, but also a higher chance of getting stopped out. So they're always safest to take from the low. So I like to use this low here right now on Solana to the high. So we can see Solana actually bounced from the 0.31 here. And I do think there's possibility that the low is in here. We're also going to cover Bitcoin in a second for more information. So I do think a very big potential low here on Solana. We can also check the volume. Actually, this chart doesn't have volume, but usually you like to see all the volume coming in to predict if the low is in. Something else we have to pay attention to is if we go away on the log scale, the 0.31 here has also been tagged. So we can see we had a bounce here once, and right now we had a bounce. We had a close under the 4 hour, but not a daily close. So this is also a bullish pattern. Both fibs are holding. So in my opinion, this could give us a fourth wave. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth wave is going to be at 210 because algorithms like to sell at the minus 0.236. So overall, this is my outlook for Solana. If I had to be honest, what I have to guess what the most likely is in my opinion. So I do think something like this we can expect on Solana. Once we reach the all-time highs 210, probably we're gonna have some kind of pullback here. This is gonna be the next target. And then overall, the final big wave is going to be the median line up here. But we have to see that as the bull market develops. If we start dropping lower on Solana, I would like to look for different entries. We have a demand zone down here at 145, but I don't think we're going to go there. So right now, I like to have this Elliott wave count as it stands for here. If we start going lower, we have to reanalyze what the bottom for Solana actually can be. Something else I like to look at, as I mentioned in my previous videos, from the lows here to the highs here and then to the lows here. You can see this is a modified shift. We can see also here how the median line acted as perfect resistance. Something else we can look at is right now is the original. So I do think Solana has potential to come up to this original pitchfork here. Something I've been posting in my Discord down below. So right now we're under 0.5, but as the bull market develops, if we get the fifth wave, I do think that Solana could climb up and reach this median line here. This would also correlate something with July 24th that Solana reaches $400. So it would mean we have to reach the final median line this median line before we reach the final median line. So just something to keep in mind. This can give you kind of a perspective on time and price. I think it's very difficult for us to reach this median line, but I do think it's possible because once we break the all-time highs, then Solana is going to go parabolic. But time will tell. This pitchfork is not as important as this major pitchfork here. But I do think here can be worth starting buying Solana. As I've been talking about, I actually started buying here at 100. At 170, also adding to my spot backs and so on. So let's cover now Bitcoin. So as we covered yesterday in the Bitcoin chart, I was saying that the 0.31 here on Bitcoin is a very important level. We can see we also have a nice demand zone here. So in my opinion, this was a very obvious buy on Bitcoin. So I have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to though remember that fourth waves usually like to go sideways. So it's very possible. Right now we got a very impulsive move. Right now we also have weekend coming up. So it's possible that we chop around here before then we're starting the fifth wave. I do think it's just a matter of time because we're already testing the highs here so many times. I do think it's just a matter of time before Bitcoin testing the all-time highs. The next resistance is going to be 76,000.2. This fib I like to use it to take profits. They're not always accurate, so if price start moving, we could break through it or could get a small pullback. But overall, I do think we're on the way to challenge the highs. I actually opened myself here a long on Bitcoin that I'm going to hold as a hedge because I'm also looking to enter altcoins. So you can see here, these are the same lines of the major pitchfork that we had on Solana, these two lines. You can see here, just as Solana, this acted as perfect resistance here. As I said, I don't use this solely to place trades, but we do see that price likes to respect it. So here overall, this is the major pitchfork I have on Bitcoin. I do think it's going to correlate very closely to Solana's price movement. So as Bitcoin is approaching this median line here, I do think Solana is going to approach this median line. So I would say at around the same time, Solana reaching 400, something like that, Bitcoin is going to reach around 100,000. People ask me when I think the top of the bull market is going to be. That's difficult to predict, but we can have an estimate guess. I would say like how the wave would play out, something in August, maybe even September. September is quite late for me, so I would like to see the impulsive moves come in because usually the fifth waves are quite impulsive. So if I have to speculate, I would say August, early August, perhaps something like that for the bull market. But overall, Bitcoin is now playing out perfectly. Since the low here to the highs at the 0.31, something you can look at is take from the lows here to the highs and then to the recent lows. So the next target for Bitcoin would be this shift pitchfork. This is a smaller time frame pitchfork, but let's say if you're holding a long, I do think here's going to be the next resistance. Short term, I would personally look here to take profits because then we could continue sideways. But overall, the direction is higher right now. So we'll also look at the total 3 altcoin market cap will come here on the weekly. As I've been saying, I do think we're going to close a green week here, and it looks like we're going to get it still the weekends, so time will tell, but I do think it's going to close as a green week. We kind of got a big week here since the alts pulled back, but I do think it's just a matter of time before we start flying higher to 1 trillion market cap. So otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like the video. If the video gets 60 likes, I'll do a huge giveaway. Make sure to join the Discord, and I'll see you again tomorrow.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goal.